I am joined today with Attaboy, the co-founder of Hi-Fructose Magazine, and one of my favorite human beings on the entire planet. So Attaboy, for people who have never heard of Hi-Fructose Magazine,
Yeah.
it's a lowbrow art magazine.
I don't know if I'd call it lowbrow.
We don't call it lowbrow anymore?
Not so much, no.
Okay.
We call it a new contemporary art,
New contemporary.
which is a term which is a blanket statement, which means you can cover things that were lowbrow, street art, contemporary art, what's called blue chip or highbrow art, conceptual art, anything.
New contemporary.
New contemporary, which is a redundant term.
Yeah, because contemporary means...
Exactly. It's almost like postmodern.
Nice.
So it's a wink to that it's new. It's always new, but it's also it's a big blanket statement so that we get freedom to do what we want and not be stuck in a specific scene or time, so that the publication can always grow and always take experiments and little deviations from it.
Well, so in some ways, it's almost like a documentation of, almost like a history book written live of the current art movements. And
Maybe.
And the nice thing is, you and the other co-founder, it's okay to say.
Yeah, of course.
So Annie has nice, dark, like gothy taste, and you have like bubblegum, rave, rainbow taste.
Okay.
And like the two, like they're like chocolate and peanut butter, like where
well, thank you.
like they, like when I'm flipping through it, I can almost guess like, okay, that's not a boy's choice, that's not his
You know,
choice.
I would say that when we first started, it was like that. But I have to say my partner and wife, Annie, is more drawn to plastic, prismatic, rainbow spewing baby toys of late. Betraying her gothers probably, but then I am even. So it's interesting how that works. And also there's probably a third point of view, which is the both of us. And also maybe even a fourth with the so the magazine is like the magazine could be considered like a conversation between the two of us. Like you were saying, like we have, where we do almost trade-offs of things, but more often than not now, we know what, quote, the baby needs. And the baby just doesn't, there's things that you'll eat, but you won't feed to the baby. So there's things that I really love, but I don't think it's right for the baby right now. So it's interesting how the project of the magazine, which we started from absolutely nothing, but have been doing for 20 years.
Holy cow, 20 years.
Yes, has its own voice and vision and agenda than we do even. So it also evolves as it goes, because we found that when magazines don't evolve, and
they go away.
Yeah, they go away, or they're just not fun to look at or to make.
Well,
so
yeah, you gotta enjoy it. I mean, you've been doing it for decades. So.
Yeah, it's a long time. So
so I guess maybe I should probably disclose, like, one of the greatest honors of my life was writing for your magazine.
Oh, Lordy.
And I was a giant fan, and then I got to work with it, and then I even got to go to Comic-Con with you a couple of times. And I remember, like, an artist came up 2 years in a row, and he was showing his stuff, and he like really wanted it to be in the magazine. And I was kind of like, I'm like, look, man, I love your art, but it's like the magazine's like a pizza shop, and we make pizza, and so if you're bringing me mozzarella or like dough or cheese, then awesome. But you're bringing me cookies.
Yeah.
And like I personally love cookies, but our customers don't come here for cookies; they come here for pizza.
I see.
Like I'm like, keep making your cookies.
Yes, definitely make your cookies.
But it might not be.
It might not be at the pizza place.
Totally.
Yeah, no, 100%. And this is the thing: is Hi-Fructose never claims to be the end-all, be-all of anything. In fact, like I said, it's more of a conversation of where we're at and where we want to go than anything. But you can look back on it as like, oh, it's a record of a certain time. I hope, we hope, because we've put in a lot of good years into it. But like you said, we can't encompass everything of every kind. But we try to look at, sometimes I'll say, and this is the other thing, is Annie and I both have different takes on things. So I may be saying something right now that she totally disagrees with. And that's really where we get into like good trouble, you know? And that's the fun part. So we have at this very table, we have very, very intense, long-form conversations that take months, and that we do horse trading, and we also do a little bit of like long cons sometimes, and we both know it. But then, but I gotta say, so many times more, we know what the issue needs, and we know how to get it. So we're just like, okay, we need it, we know it. And there's always this unsettling thing. We always think that there's not enough art, and then all of a sudden we have way too much.
Oh, yeah.
So that always happens. So,
But it can spill into the next one.
sometimes, but we make it so it has almost like almost like a mixtape. So you get this great feeling from the beginning to the end. So it's not the same note over and over. Also, if an artist is very successful or well-known or famous, it doesn't mean they'll get the most pages in our magazine. Sometimes we've gotten things that were submissions that come in the mail that become 12-page features.
Oh, wow.
And I don't think, that's the other good thing about, or a thing that is different about us, is that we get to dictate, that we have sections, but that also is defined by what's good. I was in a band a long time ago, and we were at a
A&B.
yeah, and we were at a we're doing a show, and the sound guy, the bass player asked the sound guy, hey, why is the DJ so loud? And the sound guy said, because the DJ's really good. So that, I always remind myself of that, because sometimes you get something, and it could be something that I was just hesitant about, but Annie loves, and I'm all like, I don't know about this one, you know. But we'll be working on layouts, or we'll be doing, or we honestly, this happens more than often than not, is we'll be learning about their story and where the things come from, and now I get really excited about it. So sometimes this happens often where we think something's going to be a 4-pager, it ends up being a 10 or 12. And it happens in reverse too. If something is, we're like, oh, we said everything we needed to in 4.
Yeah.
So it's, and so that's unlike where you look through a lot of magazines and you'll see, okay, I get it. And then there's more. We try to make it where it's really, really punchy and efficient with people's energy, with their time and their attention.
Oh, yeah.
Not like, they're not bite-sized like Instagram or anything, because these are long-form articles usually, written by actual writers. Also, our content is dictated by us and us alone. So we assign them to great writers who have their own voice and do their own thing. We give them our notes of why we want to cover it, or what we find appealing or interesting, or something we want to investigate. But it doesn't mean, but we're not dictated by advertising in that way. Sometimes to our detriment. If you were a business person, you would be like, what are you doing? But we still do it, and thankfully, our advertisers who do advertise, and our readers, I think they can sense it, and they know that this is some place that comes from a place where we really appreciate, and that we're really interested in these things. We're doing a 12, is it 12? It might be a 12-page feature on the mass traditions of European cultures.
Oh, wow.
In this next issue, which
So
is something
cool.
you would almost see in National Geographic.
Well,
But next to something, you know, but,
I love National Geographic.
Yeah.
It's not that different.
oh, well, thank you.
Like,
You know, we try to, we certainly don't have the budgets that they do. We're also not owned by, you know, ABC or Disney or whatever they are.
Yeah.
But this, you know, so this photographer, we found this photographer who was an expert, and he travels around all of Europe looking at all the things that are beyond Krampus, but beyond Krampus.
Nice.
All the different things they've been doing for generations.
Oh, wow.
And just because, and these traditions that they do, and how. So we end up, there's a part covering this woman's photography, but then also her research behind why all of these these people get costumed every, who knows when, you know, and why and how long they've been doing it.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So where can people find Hi-Fructose?
They can find them in most bookstores, and they can find them on Hi-Fructose.com. We have a lot of long-form content on there too, as well. And
the high is just HI, not
it's,
HI.
yes, it's like hello fructose, like hello bad stuff, you know. And that just was just something, we had the name before we had anything else. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much
Yeah,
for taking the time
of
to
course.
talk a bit about the
Yeah,
history
yeah.
of this amazing magazine.
Yeah, and you know, people's readership and their subscriptions really matter to an independent publication like us. It really does.
So go to hifructose.com and
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.